What's going on, guys? EJ here, bringing you another daily shave. So I got two things for review today. Sorry, and the first one is going to be a straight razor that was honed by none other than the good doctor, DrMatt. I've recently been getting into honing lately, and he's been like the well or the pool of knowledge, however you want to call it, because he, in my honest opinion, one of the absolute best honers out there, and he wanted me to try out the edge that he gave me on an black translucent arc stone. So I'm going to go ahead and use that today. I believe this is a 5/8 blade right here, and this is a Henkel straight razor. And then the other product I'm going to review is the new Shoat knot from Turn and Shave. This one happens to be the 50/50 gel bore, so you can either do 50% or 100%. I do have the 100 right here in this handle, and this will be coming up in another video, probably maybe the next one after this one. And then for the software, because I have been celebrating in Just One July, where you just use either, you can use the entire setup for the same month, or you can be dedicated to a piece of software. So I have been using the Reserve base from Barrister Mann, and this is the Cool Waves. And it is an excellent scent, especially for the weather, except for not right now. It's pretty dark outside. It was like over 90 degrees, and it started raining earlier. So yeah, so we're gonna get that going today. And I just, like I said, I wanna give a big thank you to DrMatt for taking the time out of his day to hone this razor, and I can't wait to use it. So I'm just gonna wet my face. And I will put a link for everything in the description as well. And also a link to the Good Doctor's YouTube channel as well. I highly advise you guys check him out, especially if you're new into honing, because he will steer you in the correct direction. So with the Shoat knot, as you can tell, it gels and the tips stick together on a boar brush, which is excellent. I know Heritage did it first, and I have done a video with their brush, phenomenal brush too, but you know, you will be seeing a lot more brush makers probably implement this into their knots, because it's honestly a great feeling of having a luxury feel without having to break the bank, because boar knots are generally infamous for being very affordable if you don't get a custom handle, because this is in fact a custom barbershop handle that I had Milton commissioned for me. But I do dig the fact that, you know, boar knots can be gel, so that is awesome. Okay, and I already bloomed the soap. And for those of you who haven't experienced the Reserve base, I like to give a fair warning. I wouldn't say this base is beginner friendly, because it could be, but can also be your worst enemy, because right here, I've only loaded probably less than 10 seconds already, and you can already see it already stringing. This thing will devour water like no tomorrow. So my suggestion to you is, if you do use this base, I'd recommend having a bowl or a mug at the side, so that way you can kind of swirl and get the soap out as well, because this soap is very voracious. I'm going to stop loading now because I have a very, very good load, and I only load on the tips. You know, some guys do drive their brush into the soap or the container, and I feel like for this particular base, it is not needed, because you will be hydrating this lather for a very long time if you do overload. So my suggestion would probably be maybe 15 seconds, 20 is kind of pushing it, especially if you bloom the soap like I did, because it softened up. But let me tell you, Barrister Mann is one of the top soap makers out there. I believe when I was tuning into Peter Sharkalis' channel on how he got into making his own soap base, for those of you who didn't know, Peter used to source his soaps from other soap makers, and he would just make the scents, but they would create the base for him. But when he did an interview, I forgot with who, I believe it was the Virtual Groom Room, or it could be the Lather Hog, I'm not sure. He pretty much said that Will from Barrister Mann really turned the market upside down when he introduced his soap base to the world of wet shaving. Because you can see, I haven't even dialed in water yet, and it's already going on very creamy, but you really got to find that nice perfect balance of water to soap ratio. And the brush has decent backbone. I wouldn't call it very strong. Displays nice and evenly. And these tips that are very well broken in, because what I do love about this process when gel either badger or boar, you know, when you use a natural brush, it'll definitely have the animal funk to it. This is not the case. You will not get any animal funk when you try breaking in a brush that has been treated with the bleach pretty much to make the hairs do the gel properties. So, as always for me, I like going for that thick, low structure lather, and you can tell I'm adding water because it's starting to get that nice sheen going. Because you can keep going at this if you wanted to. You'll be here all day lathering. And I know Dr. Matt, he loves using the old white tub Barrister Mann soaps because those are really good too. I did have the Seville, but that tub is long gone now because I finished that off. But you can tell this is a very protective and creamy lather. You can add just a little bit more water and then we're done. Nice, excellent. All right, so I have never experienced an arc stone edge before, so we're gonna go ahead and give this a go, and let's see what the good doctor has in store for me. You can see that it's covered in all the lather, but there is stubble inside that soap, and it took it off like nothing. Smooth edge. Oh yeah, I may have gotten a little pimple right there, probably, we'll see. Oh yeah. Yeah, I did get a little bump underneath my chin, so that is expected, especially when using a surgical sharp straight razor, but nothing you can really do about it. But let me tell you, hats off to you, Matt. Excellent edge, honestly. So far the best edge I have used on a natural finish. I have been using my own edge, which is the ILR stone. Great edge, but the way the doc did this is excellent. And for me, if I'm straight razor shaving, 2 passes is perfect for me. I can do a little touch-ups after, but 2 pass for me is always excellent. Going back to the brush, you can keep working in the lather, just keep adding water as need may be. Yeah, it's already closed up already. Just a little spot. But you can keep working at this if you wanted to, as you can tell. But for a lot of people that I watch on YouTube, when they do straight razor shaving, they like to leave their lather a little thinner so it can be as slick as possible, but you won't have to worry about that with Barrister Mann because you will get elite cushion, slickness, and glide for the razor to go across your face. I'm gonna leave the last layer of lather pretty thin. That's the way I prefer it, especially when going against the grain. When you have a nice smooth edge on a blade, your shave should be very, very easy, honestly. This is a very comfortable edge. Other than the pimple I got underneath my neck, there's no other cuts on my face because this razor is very smooth. Because when you start getting a really toothy edge, which some people do prefer, that tends to have a little bit more weepers. Oh yeah. That's it. That's all she wrote. So I'm gonna rinse out my face and feel around for any spots that I may have missed. Because definitely with this soap base too, you could just add water and the residual slickness alone is more than enough. There you go. To go against the grain. So looking at it, nice and smooth, unlike that little bump I got right there. No other cuts or weepers. So let me just rinse out my face one more time. Before we go to the close shave, I'm just gonna add some alum and then we'll give a rundown of everything that we used right here, just to close it up. But alum is also a great tool for figuring out which parts you went over multiple times, and I really don't feel anything with the exception of right here, and my face is feeling great. So alum can be your best friend or your worst enemy, especially if you get yourself pretty good. It'll sting. It'll give you audible feedback, especially a place that's been raw. But that's it. I'm gonna stop because that shave is rather smooth. So we're gonna let that set for a bit. And as always, we're gonna start off with the soap. Barrister Mann, the Reserve Base Cool Waves, excellent shave soap, especially for a straight razor shaver. Excellent, excellent soap base. Can be very tricky, can be very dangerous if you're not careful. If you overload it too much, like that's it. You're gonna have to bring it to a bowl, relather again, because you're gonna have to hydrate it like crazy. And the brush is going to be this beautiful 26 millimeter Shoat knot, the 50% gelled bore knot for Milton. Thank you, Milton. Excellent, excellent shaving brush. Just the detail is impeccable. He has his custom coin in the bottom. I love using Milton brushes. Turn and shave is the term. And of course, the straight razor honed by the good doctor, the Henkel. And like I said, best edge I've used so far. I mean, it beats mine by like more than a mile. I need to get better at it, but this right here, this is the best edge I have ever used so far. So thank you, Matt. So I'm gonna go ahead and go. Cut the face dry. The matching aftershave. I do miss the old bottles that Will had for the Reserve line, but this will do. Oh yeah. Very smooth. Skin is nice and toned. And that's already closed up, so. All right, well that pretty much wraps up my review for the items that I have for you guys tonight. Everyone, please stay safe out there. You know, I hope you all are, keeping your sanity, and I hope everyone's doing great with their families. But like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, I'll see you in the next video. Take care.